Hey guys, what is up? Ioki here bringing you some more Leona coaching. Today we are coaching a player by the name of Small Dunspars. Small Dunspars. He is playing somewhere in high bronze, low silver ELO. If this is your first time on the channel, I'm currently a Grandmaster player and considered the rank 1 Leona world. So we're going to be showing you guys how to get better at Leona. So right off the bat, love the proactivity. I love how you're the first one out on the map. Love how you're putting this ward here. This is such an important ward. And so if your teammates aren't going to help you ward against invades, what you need to do is exactly what you did. You need to get out, get this tri ward, and then come up here and check this entrance. So you don't want to come here and sit here AFK for a minute and a half like your idiot teammates. Excellent proactivity. That's like one of the pillars of the style of gameplay that I teach is proactivity. You want to go out there, make plays. If your teammates aren't going to do it, you need to do it yourself. So let's talk about this. Worst case scenario is also a large part of how I coach and how I teach and how I approach the game. Worst case scenario, it's the same reason you put this ward here, because the worst case scenario is that all 5 of them were going to invade you. Well, now they can't do that without you seeing them. Worst case scenario, you see the ward. If you're fast enough, you can actually click it, and in game this will be up here at the top left and you can see who put the ward. But don't worry about that. What we're talking about is you see the ward, so worst case scenario, literally all 5 of them are right here. So what you need to do is back up. I'm assuming you're going to walk forward, kind of probably like a little bit on autopilot, but worst case scenario is all 5 of them are right there. We see the ward, we can't clear it. Okay, so they're not there, but worst case scenario, they could have been. Doesn't look like anything's going to happen level 1. Alright, so what you need to be looking for level 1 after you leash is do the enemy bot laners ward your try, because immediately that's one of the things that I communicate to my jungler, and you'll have vision of it too, because 1, you're walking through there, and 2, you'll have retained vision because you have a ward there. You need to know if their bot lane wards their try, because that allows you to tell your jungler if you can cheese gank or not. So boom, there's the ward. Immediately, while you don't have much to do level 1 as Leona since you're not looking to engage, type to your jungler bot lane try, or drop the ward. Alright, so level 1. Well, let's talk a little bit about matchup. I checked out your runes. Your runes seem totally fine. You're running Resolve and Inspiration secondary with the Biscuits and Cosmic Insight. That's fine. The only criticism I would have of your runes for this matchup is that you took Font of Life, and I would actually be taking Demolish, because you want to kill Sona at level 2, start getting plates, break first turret, get out on the map. This is a very, very, very advantageous matchup for you, Leona into Sona. So I want to see you kill her at level 2, 1, and then I want to see you, next time you play against the Sona, go ahead and go Demolish. Okay, so let's talk about level 1. Varus destroyed their front line. It looks like Aphelios might have actually missed an experience. You guys have a massive, massive advantage here. What I don't want to see is you walking so far behind your ADC. There is, you want to be able to draw a parallel line between you and your ADC, where you're matching each other's aggression. Because if you walk super far back here, 1, you're level 1 Leona, so you don't apply any pressure. And 2, they can both just take a very, very easy trade before you can even react or like threaten to react. So you want to be always, always, always at least even with your ADC. And that'll change as the game develops and people get different abilities and things, but how far forward you can stand. But typically, you want to be standing at least even with your ADC. So we still have 2 Relic Shield procs. You need to be using those on the melees, and you want to use them on the melees because those take longer to kill, and thus by executing them, you're accelerating how fast you get level 2. You're making Varus spend less time on killing those melees. You definitely don't want to get to level 2 and still have 2 procs of your Relic Shield. So if you walk up right now, you do your 2 melees and you get level 2. Okay, awesome. Aphelios took a really, really bad trade. Notice why. Do you know why he took a bad trade? 1, because he's above the minion wave, and 2, because he's pushing way ahead of his support. His support is not able to contribute to this trade at all. Notice that? Okay, so let's look at level 2. We hit this, we hit level 2. Boom. The second you hit that level, you hit that minion for level 2, You want to be looking for an engage. Oh! And it has appeared to you on a platter. The second you see her, that's an E. So I notice you haven't leveled up your E yet. It takes you way, way, way too long for level. Oh, you guys can't see it because my webcam's on it. But he literally just leveled up his E in the last half second. What you want to be doing is getting a little more comfortable with how many minions it takes to hit level 2. And then there's a hotkey to level up your E. It's pressing Control E. So you can be hovering over that. When you hit level 2, Control E, instantly level it up, and instantly go in. There's a large window of opportunity here. So you know you're one melee minion away from 2. Not sure what happens with the auto cancels here. Actually, we'll come back to that. I do actually think I know what happened with the auto cancels there. But right here, this should be a kill. I think it'll probably still be a kill, but this is literally a kill on a silver platter. And notice why she's so out of position. It's because she's not even with her ADC. She's not matching the aggression. Okay, so instantly level up E. Instantly go on her. She's giga out of position. I think you'll still probably catch her here. Yep. Instantly drop the ignite. Auto Q. Boom, she's dead. Perfect. Oh, and she blew her flash. Nice. You can probably get one more stun off on him. Perfect. Double kill. Very, very nice. Okay, now help push the wave. So let's talk a little about level 1. Your level 2 is pretty good. Level 1, you don't almost never want to get to level 2 when you still have 2 relic shield procs. That means you didn't contribute to pushing the wave at all. The second you hit level 2, you want to level up your E using the hotkey, Control E. Go in. But this was good. At least you knew to go in. So we're going to get the cannon. We're going to push one more. Use it on this. Use it on this. Okay, so here's the priority for your relic shield procs. You want to use it on cannons, obviously. And then you want to use it on melee minions. You have one left. You actually have 2 left. And you're not using them at all. And you're about to go back. Well, you should be going back. You should be resetting here. So the prioritization for your relic shield should be go cannon, melee, caster. If you're just trying to use them at all, sometimes you end up using them on both casters, and that's fine. Like, for instance, I would have used them on the melee and cannon there and then gone back. Because this is actually a little bit overstaying. But I want to go back to what I said earlier. Remember when I said Leona's such a good matchup, or Sona is such an easy matchup for Leona, and this is why you should take Demolish? So, your runes, I would have taken Demolish over Font of Life since you expect to kill this lane, you expect to take plates, you expect to take the turret, get out on the map. That is why. Okay, so again, I would have reset here a long time ago because now you guys kind of had like bad backs. Not like bad backs like an old person, but bad back timings in the sense that like now you've allowed them to come to lane and you didn't get to go back and spin your gold. So now now they're going to get control of the wave. Typically, you kill them, you push the wave to turret, you instantly back. You don't do what you did, which is kind of like bind yourself to staying here. Okay, what are we doing here? Let's talk about why you're moving up the river. I'm assuming in your head you're thinking something like, I'm going to get vision. But what you should actually be thinking about is what I talked about earlier, the worst case scenario. Worst case scenario, their jungler is on Scuttle, and you have pincered yourself in between 4 players. 4 players, so let's talk about that. The second the jungler gets vision of you here, his bot lane's coming up. So now you've got 2 coming from the bot, you've got a jungler here, and no one that can rotate to you. Echo, worst case scenario, Echo comes down. Your jungler's not here to bail you out, there's no reason to be coming up here. Now worst case scenario didn't happen this time. We see a Poppy up on the top side. But you got to be really careful about roaming and rotating, especially because you got to watch the body movement of the bot laners. That actually looked like they were trying to collapse on you. So be cautious of that in the future. Doesn't look like this is going to be anything. All right, we're going back to bot. So again, the importance of back timings is that you could have spent all this time going back and buying your boots. You got 2 assists, so you 100% have at least 300 gold. Okay, all of this is done. All that this is done is push the wave when he doesn't want to push the wave. As you can see, he's pretty scared. He's got a jungler here. We know his jungler's there. This isn't like a super favorable matchup for him. And all this has done is put damage on his minions when he's trying to hover under his turret. He's not wanting to push here. So this was kind of like the not a great use of your roam. I like the aggression there though, but there's no one that can follow up. So save that for level 6 when you can actually lock him down long enough for a level 6 Malzahar to walk up. So now we've used our flash. We should be able to just walk out of this. Gank has failed. It's fine. So the idea is there. You've probably seen like a higher elo Leona like do these types of roams and they work out. They're just working with a little more information and better understanding of the game. I like the roam. I like the fact that you roamed. But what should have actually happened is you kill them, you push it to turret, you back, you have boots, then you can go mid. And if you don't see anything, just go back to bot. You've kind of taken a lot of kill potential off of yourself by using your flash. Okay, okay. This can be fine. This can be fine. We get our W popped. Yeah, this is good. This is good. Good job, man. Good job. But you're out of mana now, so we don't want to force anything. We don't want to waste our jungler's time. We want to let him go do our thing. Ping him off. Good job. Look how little mana you have. Remember that when you go in. If you go in. And when you have this little mana, you probably don't want to be using what little remains on your W, because that means you can't E at all. Okay, so we're pressing E. We're finally going back. We're finally going back. Hopefully we're getting boots, because this is a doomed matchup if you get a little bit of mobility on Sona. But, yeah, I really want to emphasize that, like, you really should have backed when I said initially, too, because now we've wasted all this time. Now we're leaving Varus alone in lane. But what do we get? Oh, Moby boots. Okay, we good. Loving the Moby spy. I'm digging it. Can't really do anything when it's under their turret, so we're kind of just hovering around. Mid lane is pushed. Just kind of chilling. So you want to think of the lane in terms of thirds. So when it's in this from here to about here, that's about where that shadow ends. That's your third. From where the shadow begins, or from when the shadow ends here to about here, that's neutral third. So you want to be fighting ideally in neutral third when you're in Leona. It's very, very risky to fight in their third until you're level 6 and you're looking for dives. Just because, you know, you're obviously going to be taking turret aggro. So if it's in their third, you're kind of just chilling. You've got presence, but you're not looking to go in. So let's talk about wards. What was the purpose of dropping this ward? This was actually a completely wasted ward for a couple reasons. Let's say 2 reasons. 2 reasons is you already have vision of any possible ganks. Any possible ganks. You've got vision here, and you've got vision in the river. If Poppy's ganking you in a way that this ward's going to detect it, you'll have already seen her. And I'm going to ask you, what's the second reason you don't need to drop this ward? You already see Poppy on the map. So this is a big, like, kind of just playing on autopilot mistake that I see lower Elo's players do, is they kind of just ward because they've been told that they're supposed to ward. They don't ward to actually, like, use it for information. They just ward because, I've got a trinket, may as well drop it. Alright, there's literally no one here to gank this player with. You're not going to solo him, and you've seen Poppy hovering, so you don't want to be here right now. I really appreciate the fact that you're trying to roam, but you need to be thinking about, like, a couple of these things before you roam. You're not going to kill this guy. All you've done is lost control of your wave. You've allowed it to push it. You've allowed them to push it to your turret, or at least push it halfway to the turret. And you've kept yourself out of a lane that you're winning. So now they're going to hit level 6 first. Roaming is all about trade-offs, right? When you leave, you're expecting to trade a positive, like you get a kill on mid, or you blow mid's flash, for a couple of the negatives, like you're missing experience in bot lane, or you're losing control of the wave, or you're not killing them in bot lane. So always be thinking about those trade-offs when you roam, and really be like weighing your odds of like, am I actually going to get anything out of this? Is there a reason for me to roam right now? And if your mid laner is bot or is in base because he just died, there's no reason for you to roam. All right, so you've got Mobies. This person doesn't have boots at all. This should be a kill. Cut them off with the angle right over here. Don't hesitate. Go, 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 go. You're hesitating and you're letting them get away, or you're giving them an opportunity to get away. You go straight on Sona. You've got Ignite up. Either one. Either one. Perfect. All right, now walk with them. Walk with them. Okay, so let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. I'm glad that you caught them. When you get to a little bit higher elos, you're going to be having to walk at like smarter angles, like cut them off over here, make them realize, oh shoot, I'm boned, I just need to fight. Whereas if you walk like, if you do this like weird hesitating thing and then you walk straight at them, it kind of gives them a little more leeway to like walk into the alcove, possibly stall time for their top laner to teleport. You want to cut them off. Make them immediately doomed. And let's talk about this. We've got Moby Boots that are procced. Until you take minion aggro right about now, you've got Moby Boots. So you've got the positional advantage on them. That means you can walk up and Q them. You don't need to risk letting him flash, because when you E, especially as you get to like mid elo, I would say somewhere around like gold plat, people start flashing your Zenith Blade because it's very slow. So if he had flashed this, you guys probably wouldn't have killed him. So walk up and Q, force him to flash, and then E. But okay, you got the engage. That's good. Walk forward with him. Walk forward. You know he's not going this way, and there's no reason to stand right here. You know he's going to try to go this way. So walk towards where you think he's going to walk, and because that makes your W hit, you get more autos. It's kiting, and you get your aftershock damage. Whereas watch what happens. If you had walked forward in the way that you know he was going to flash, you would still be right there with him. But instead, you're super far behind. Still get the kill, but it could have been played better. So good job. But yeah, definitely. Watch some of my higher ELO Leona gameplay, and you'll see whenever I get a catch, and I'm actually going in for like an all-in, I always walk forward with them. Because you know they're going to flash towards their turret if they have that ability up. Alright, cool. So we've got a massive lead. We've got 3 kills on Varus. Back. 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 This is the biggest mistake I see you making. You want to push it to the turret and back. Push it to the turret and back. If you get a kill in bot lane, you push it to the turret and back. So now you're out here, and with less than half your mana, you've probably got a whole lot of gold. Looking for another gank mid, not finding anything. You just need to back, man. You just need to back. Listen, I love roaming as much as the next guy. Hell, I love roaming more than the next guy, but you got to be smart about it. You got to make the most of your time, because all this is doing is you're just getting roped into these fights. Instead of backing, you could be with your Varus right now. Instead, you're just kind of like lollygagging around mid. And even worse, now you're coming back to lane with less than half mana. You're going to want a lot of mana for your level 6 combo. For an RWEQ, how much mana is that? That's 100 mana, 160 mana, 220 mana, 265 mana. Alright. Well, this worked. I want to talk about the good as well as the bad. So, I'll be real. This seems like a really risky engage. You don't have level 6. You're 2 levels behind your ADC. So the idea of engaging here, I guess, is a little risky. I probably wouldn't have gone for it. I would have waited for my level 6. It did happen to work out. It's weird that Varus waited till ult so long. But very, very low mana, as you can tell. But hey, man, good looking out. Good knowing that you could go in there. Good aggression. Let's talk about the actual engage itself. I don't know if you personally are aware, Small Dunspars. Oh, you're a ghost. Spooky. I don't know if you're personally aware, but you can actually E-flash, so that you can start channeling your E and then flash, and it gives them literally no time to react. Instead of the flash E, which is a little bit clunkier and a little bit like more able to be reacted to, like reactively flash. Also, I'm not sure if you're looking for a flash engage. I don't think the flash was actually necessary. I'm pretty sure that like right here you are well within your EQ range. Yeah, you definitely are. Sorry, I'll show it again. If you're looking to engage, one, try to communicate that with your ADC. Yeah, if you're looking to engage, right here's the time. But as for the actual engage itself, I like the aggression. I really love your playstyle, and I think with a little bit of tuning, it's going to be like 10 times better when you learn like when to leave lane and like how to properly engage and like angles and like how to back and stuff. Love the aggression. Get into the habit of doing the EQ because the E flash. E flash is so much nicer. And if you don't know what that is, just YouTube it. It's animation canceling. I won't go over it too in depth here, but it makes it like completely impossible to dodge or react to. It's just the E flash. It's really really nice. All right, so we got another kill. Push it to the turret, and we finally back. Love this. I love the fact that you're not going bot. If you go bot now, it's completely wasted time, right? Love this pathing. This is such an important path to learn and master. Getting your going back and going instantly mid. They never see it coming, man. I promise you. All the way to challenger. People get hit by this gank all the time. The only thing that ruins this is if you run into the jungle here, or if this is warded. Alright, it's fine, it's fine. So once again, it's kind of like what happened down here. When I was saying you have Mobies, you will eventually be able to walk up and Q him. You don't have to risk the E. The E can honestly be kind of hard to hit because there's a measurement of like prediction and luck to it, right? Because you have to like choose which way he dashes or choose which way he dodges. If you just walk up and Q there, I honestly think you kill him. Walk up Q, don't risk the miss. So 10 out of 10 idea. Love this path. Keep that up. Such an excellent gank. But just play it a little cleaner by only use your E if you have to. You wanna minimize risk. It's the same reason you don't drop your ultimate raw without locking them down first, typically, unless you have to. If you can walk up in Q and make sure the rest of your combo hits, like that's what you should do. Okay, so we've got Olaf here. We got two squishy boys. I would be pinging my jungler to come down here now, since they're even face checking. So you know, that's just kind of communication. You can't force your jungler to come here, but what you can do is communicate with them. Yeah, see, if Olaf had stayed, you guys would have killed them there. So I would have been dropping pings on Olaf. Okay, still good, still good. Still good. You've cut him off, Look at that angle. Good job. Good angle. Really good, really good. See, this is what I was talking about earlier. When you cut him off with this sharp angle, you see, you're not running straight at him, right? You're cutting him off. You know he's walking this way, so you want to cut him off. Excellent. Perfect. Good job. Much better than your other angles and movement so far. Alright, we push it to turret. Here's where Demolish would really come in handy. Alright, we see Poppy top. Only thing I can really criticize there is like you probably should have like walked forward, not used the rest of your mana on the turret, but like kept enough mana to die for as possible, if possible, because she was like really really low. But it's all good. We push it to turret, we back. Excellent job. And now we're doing that same path. I love it, man. I love it. Perfect. Perfect. And you're gonna be here for the fight. You're gonna be here for the fight. You see this? You see this? You're out on the map because you took that path. You didn't go straight to bot. You took the path straight to mid. That's so good. You're out on the map and you're able to influence that fight. You might have even saved Olaf there. Okay, now we're pushing it. Aurelia just disconnected. Classic solo queue. I like it. I like getting vision out. You understand that the next fight's going to be over for the dragon objective, so we're getting lots and lots of vision. You're not selfishly suiciding against Aphelios. I think you've got like a ton of like really good ideas and fundamentals. You just need to work on the execution of said ideas. You probably should have been with Varus here. I think if you were with him, Varus probably would have ulted and they would have killed Aphelios. But you're kind of like AFK on the dragon. So like, yeah, this is 100% a catch. 100%. And instead you just get like a little bit of damage, which is good because now he probably won't be able to contest dragon. Oh, and he got flash. But if you had been there with him, if you had been like a little more alert, you could have killed him there. Okay, so let's talk about doing dragons. Yes! Bro, okay. I like you a lot. Because a lot of bad Leonas will walk over here and do the dragon with Olaf, who does the dragon relatively fast. But the worst part about doing that as Leona is that you unproc your Mobies, which makes you like significantly slower, and you can't go out here and react to things. So what you should be doing is being around the dragon, zoning for it, participating in like presence, but not actually touching the dragon unless you absolutely have to. So good zoning. Good awareness. There we go. We see a pick. We see a pick. Okay, we got our ulti off. Even if you die here, this is good. This can still be good. This is still good. Really, really good. Perfect. You got that ulti off. That was important. Excellent job, man. All right, so let's talk about builds. Zeke's Val are really, really good items, and if you go back to my older coaching sessions, those were the items I was recommending. As of recording this is patch 10.6. It's currently March 30th, 2020, and Gargoyle Stoneplate is actually the rush item on Leona. So this is a really good item. I like it. It's fine. But I would really recommend you looking into rushing Gargoyle Stoneplate before you go Zeke's Knight's Vow. Gargoyle Stoneplate just makes you like absolutely invincible. You pop it, your Aftershock procs, and you literally just don't take damage. So you've got Aftershock, Gargoyle Stoneplate, you've got W going, you don't take damage for like 7 seconds. But Zeke's is 100% not a bad item. Alright, so kind of the same thing here, right? Kind of the same thing with the dragon. The amount of damage you're actually doing to this is going to reduce the amount of time that it takes to take the Rift Herald by like half a second. Like, you've got 3 damage dealers doing it. The amount of effort you're putting into doing this, you know, you're losing mana, you're losing time, and most importantly, you're unprocking your Moby Boots. So you're if you've got the damage to do the objective, don't touch the objective unless you have to. Because if you had your Mobies, you could have just walked up and cure. Instead, we took a risk on E-ing her, and she's still suicided, but it's still good. So, unless you have to, do exactly like what you did with the dragon. Just zone it. Keep those Mobies procced. You having your Mobies procced and like ready to... I hope you understand what I mean by saying that. When you take damage and you're in combat, your Mobies go away, right? You lose the 150 Moby speed. Movement speed. Okay, so should have had a way better angle here. The call is obviously to come 3v1 this Alawi, right? So you've got several ways of doing that. You've got Varus ult, you've got Aurelia ult, you've got Aurelia stun. They're going this way. Aurelia does not have enough mana to 2v1 them. Walk around this way. Best case scenario, you walk around this way and be over here. But even if you're gonna go this way, what are you doing? You're like walking back and forth. You're back here. You should never be back here. If the plan is to catch this Aurelia, why are you back here? You're the catch champion. You could have killed her. So that was one of the worst things that I've seen you do. I've seen you do a lot of good things, but it's those angles and that movement and that decisiveness and executing on the idea. The idea was to come 1v3 Aurelia. There, we got a turret. Oh, we're going for Rifty. Okay, we see Poppy bot and we see Aurelia TPing. I mean, Alawi TPing. So we know this is probably... Oh! So this is a 3v1. We just want to walk this in. We don't want to dive this here. We don't want to dive this here. We don't want to dive this here. We're just walking it in. It's way too risky to dive with Sona ult. That was a complete waste of your ult. And now you're down another tool, so now they should actually be engaging on you. So let's talk about that. The idea is that you walk the Rift Herald in, you take what you can of the turret, and then you back out. You guys aren't quite... I mean, you guys have a huge, massive lead, but all it takes is 1 or 2 deaths, gives them shutdowns, and they're right back in this game. So this is really risk. You want to think about the risk-reward ratio here, right? The risk is extremely high because it's hard to dive against an Illaoi with her ult up and a Sona with ult. But the ulti that you threw out was especially bad because if you're going to dive, that's not what you want to lead with. You want to lead with a solid EQ combo. You very rarely ever want to raw ult. Especially not in that scenario because you're not looking to dive anyways, but you almost never want to raw ult, and what raw ulting means is not like ulting someone that is not CC'd already. So if you were going to do the risky dive, you want to EQ first. Yeah, see how hard it is to dive these guys? And they even wasted Sona ult, and it's still like really difficult to dive them, right? It's just hard, which is why you shouldn't be doing it. You know, whether this works or not, look how much pressure you're losing mid, look how much time you're wasting. Okay, so once again, I think you're really struggling with like back timers. Back timers on a champion like Leona, who is very catch oriented, are really important. So you got to think about like how well is your time actually being spent right now. This is going to take you like 30 seconds to do the scuttle, where you could be going back, buying your next item component, and getting out on the map. Setting up for Dragon. Instead, we didn't back again, even though I know you've probably got some decent gold because you just took a tower. I do like the fact that you got to the objective and set up vision, but your jungler's dead, so... What we should have done here is we should have backed out off of the siege and backed. Press speed. Recalled. Notice how everyone else got to go back and you didn't? You're not backing enough. Alright, we see a pick here, we see a pick here, we see a pick here. Ooh, risked it with the E, it's fine. We tried, we didn't find the pick. It's all good. Doing this like weird siege again. Leona's not a very strong sieger. She pretty much only dives. Oh, very greedy. Very greedy flash. Sometimes you get bloodthirsty as Leona, but you gotta remember, you don't really do that much damage by yourself. You really don't. Sometimes it feels like you do because when you go in, your combo goes off and the enemy health bar goes down super fast. But you gotta remember, that's because your passive is going off. You can't pop your own passive. So even though this Poppy looks very killable, one, she's next to her Sona, who we always have to assume like has her W up in the next like 0.1 seconds. And two, you can't do this much damage. 187, you can't do that much. You don't do that much. A lot of your damage comes from your passive, and other people are proccing that. Leona can kind of be like deceptively empty in that regard. The second you find yourself alone, you really don't do that much damage. Especially like at this stage of the game. Alright, I'm starting to see this game fall apart at the seams. Can you imagine though if you had backed and spent this gold way back here, and you came into that fight with 10% or 10% more CDR, 40 armor, and 200 health? Could have changed something. Who knows? That's the importance of back timings.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
We're just catching waves. We're just catching waves. Good job. Good job. So again, it looks like we're going for Night Cell seconds. Very clean core build. Oh, right here. All right. So again, we're needlessly risking the E when she is literally within Q range. Think about risk, and you always want to minimize risk, right? If you use your E on a target that's not queued already, there is a risk that you miss it. Same with your ultimate. If you raw ult someone, there's always a risk that you're going to miss it. So unless you have to take that risk, unless that's the only option of getting an engage off, don't do it. Open with your Q, if possible. If that's not possible, open with your E, Q. And if that's not possible, and the 0.1% scenarios when it's not, then you ult. But you always just want to walk up and Q them. You're missing out on a lot of free engages. Okay, so if I was really nitpicky, I would talk about how you need to take Legend Tenacity into consideration, but I think that's for another lesson. There's different combos depending on how much tenacity they have. Like, for instance, the reason you missed your ultimate there is because I'm assuming this Poppy has Legend Tenacity. Oh, she doesn't. She has Dark Harvest. We just were a little sloppy with our combo. Okay. But I'll get into that in another coaching session. If you come back when you're a little bit higher elo, we'll talk about tenacity and like why there's different combos for locking targets with different levels of tenacity down. You know, if they have high tenacity, you need to Q E and then auto cancel it to the R. But again, I don't want to get off track here.
A summoner has reconnected.
Okay, so complete int there. Complete int. I'm not trying to be mean to you. I'm just this is an int and a half. What are we even doing? Literally, what are we doing? This area is already warded, and we're just again go back to that worst case scenario. Remember when I said that in the very beginning of the game? Worst case scenario is they've got 5 people hidden in the bush here, and they all destroy you when you face check. This is the worst case scenario. Always got to be playing with that going on in the back of your mind. And if you teach yourself to always be thinking about what is the literal worst thing that could happen if I walk in and randomly step into this bush? There it is. Because guess what? Sometimes the worst case scenario happens. And now you're not on the map, so it looks like they're probably going to take an unfavorable fight 4v5. Okay, they killed the ADC. Okay, so you kind of lucked out there. Your team kind of carried your int. A challenger player once told me, any death that you get over 20 minutes, you should consider that a loss. That's how you should start thinking about losses or deaths post 20 minutes. Because what this could have turned into is your team fights a 4v5 without you because you inted, and then the enemy team gets Baron, and then you lose the game. Any death after 20 minutes, you need to start conditioning yourself to be like, am I willing to lose the game to face check this bush? Because that's honestly, as you get higher elo, that's the level of punishment you start getting. You int like that in a high elo game, they take Baron, and like the game just got infinitely harder. But luckily your team kind of bailed you out. Once again, a completely wasted ult. You're not looking to go in. You're not looking to go in, and even if you were looking to go in, that's not how you want to engage. You didn't stun anybody. Literally none of these players are stunned. And that's because you raw ulted. So, 1, you're not looking to go in there, and 2, that's not how you would open if you did. You would want to EQ them. Really get in the thick of it. Make sure you don't miss your ultimate. Because unless it stuns them, you basically missed your ultimate, right? This would be a good time. If you set your ultimate, this would definitely be a good fight. This still could be a good fight. It looks like you have to fight it anyway. So walk into them. This Echo's obviously trying to get on your ADC, so interrupt that. Okay, so you had a lot of opportunities to go in here. A lot of opportunities. They're right here in this bottleneck. You get your Aftershock hitting like 3 people. You get your W applying sunlight to all of them. EQ in on that, bud. Get in there, baby. Let's start this. Let's do this fight. Instead, we kind of just like flounder around, walk to the back. Let Olaf be engaged. Olaf is not your engage. You are our engage. Alright, so you slaughter them. No thanks to you, but thanks to Olaf. Looks like we kind of just walk it in here. We get inhibs. Yeah, we can't in. We get a couple spites in. We got some nonsense going on. We got some bronze silver nonsense going on. I mean, at this stage of the game, it kind of just becomes like uncoachable. I think we've pretty much touched on everything that I'm going to be able to actually coach you on. Looks like you guys just like walk it in. Get Baron. Walk it in mid. You're with your team, which is good. Just kind of chilling. Doing the bare minimum to close the game out. Not quite finding a pick. And then you win on team fight. Okay, so we're gonna let this go ahead and play out while I talk about what I think you should be focusing on. Your pathing, your ideas are honestly all really good. I am quite confident you watch a high elo Leona player, possibly even me, but I really like this path that you take. I really like that you're out there looking proactively to start fights. I really like that sometimes you don't touch the objective unless you have to. You know your role in the fights. I really want to see. I hate to see the fact that you let Olaf be your hard engage here, and I hate the fact that you inted post 20 minutes. So just work on that. Just work on kind of putting that in the back of your brain always. What is the literal worst possible thing that could happen? Worst possible thing is that there's 4 of them in a bush. And stop raw alting. One, make sure you even want to be going in on these things that you're raw alting, and 2, stop raw alting. But small Dunsparce, I hope this coaching session helped you out, man. I hope you learned, hope you improved, and if you have any questions or anyone watching this video has any questions, just put them in the comments. Small Dunsparce, you can DM me on anything, Twitter, Discord, whatever, buddy. And yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed the coaching session. Take it easy, boys. Peace.